Hey, what's going on? Done some things with some shows on here before. We got a little 15-minute action going just for some fantasy football, but this is my first time taking a look at actually, considering doing more of a kind of weekly, bi-weekly, tri-weekly, whatever the word for 4 weekly thing is. I got my headphones around my neck because that's the way that people kind of do it, I guess. I don't have my microphone set up, so we'll kind of see if I want to do that. But anyway, going to take a look at some DFS here on 127.18. It's about 6:32 right now, and we've had some news break. It's a 6-game slate. I really like the slate, actually. It's about the right number of games. You don't have that crazy 10-game situation where something goes to overtime, you're screwed. Interesting, like I said, you got Orlando at Indy. Pacers been playing a little bit slower lately, but Orlando's terrible. A little revenge game there, narrative for Oladipo. If you're into that action, I'm going to be, I promise you that. Washington or Atlanta, really fast tempo game there. None of the guards in that game really play anything related to defense. Bazemore kind of sneaky, maybe we'll get into that. Charlotte at Miami. Charlotte played last night. I was on Kemba. He was pretty good, but he doesn't do enough in the peripherals there for me. That might be kind of a fade game. We'll get into that. Boston at Golden State is certainly the game of the night, but the problem is when everybody for Golden State is playing, it's kind of hard to pick who's going to go off, and really the ceiling when you're looking for 6-7x, on the salaries those guys are making, it's hard to get there. They just have to go nuts. A couple games ago, Durant has a triple-double and barely gets you 6x. So I just don't see, and I'm the biggest Steph fan in the world, and we'll get there here when we start with point guard. I just don't know that I see the upside to play those guys. Especially the top tier, Steph and KD and Clay. It's just tough. Price on Draymond Green is laughable, but I think that's more of a cash play, and I don't play that. I play $2 and $5 or $10 tournaments. Dallas at Denver, it's a tough spot. Jamal Murray, you would think, is in a good spot there at point guard. Dallas really, really bad against the position, and then that last game, Jimmy Butler's coming back. He's gonna try to get him at low ownership and hope that the game stays close. I don't know that Brooklyn can. I saw DHJ's house tonight, so it opens up some value. We'll get to that. But Brooklyn plays 12, 13 guys, and, then you got Minnesota on the other side. They just have too many good players, and it's just kind of like Golden State. Obviously, they're not near as good. But it just cannibalize their minutes and cannibalize their opportunity and cannibalize their upside. So we'll go ahead and we'll attack this slate here real quick. Like I said, a lot of high-scoring games and a lot of spots that you can attack. I think it's going to take, 6x tonight anyway to take it down. 360 is the number you're kind of looking for. So if you're playing some of those value guys, the thing to kind of think about is you play a guy at 3,500, 4,000, and you're playing him to get you 5-6x. Like, what's that really doing for you? That's a cash game strategy, but I don't really play that. If you're playing a guy at 4K and he gets you 40, then we're talking, but I've just never been somebody, last night Darius Miller, maybe my favorite player in the NBA, makes 6 threes, scores 20 whatever points and gets you 25 fantasy points on 4K. And, he was the reason they won the game, but as far as DFS goes, he didn't do it for you. So it's just tough. I get going to the bottom of the barrel. There's one guy I really like at point guard that we'll get to, who I'm going down there with tonight, but I like his upside. So looking at point guard, if I'm going to pay up, I'm going to play Steph. Just Kyrie Irving plays no defense whatsoever. I don't know that I've rostered Kyrie Irving once ever. And he rolled his ankle in the first quarter after scoring 12 points about halfway through the first quarter. Probably never play him again. And he's just not a guy who gets it done in other categories other than scoring. So I'm not going there. One guy I really, really like tonight is Elfrid Payton. I'm going to probably stack up this Orlando game. A little bit of a homer. and I've gone down with the Victor Oladipo ship enough, but we'll get to there here in a minute. I just like Elfrid Payton's upside. I mean, he's only averaging 30 fantasy points a game, but if you look into his box scores here of late, he's playing a little bit up-tempo game. I like that he's on the road. There's another guy from that game I probably want to play too. So I really, really like Elfrid Payton. I think everybody is going to jump on the Dennis Schroeder train, and I am not, because I just don't think he's good. He's a guy kind of like Kent Bazemore in that same backcourt. I'm not gonna buy. I'm not doing it. He's too scoring dependent for a point guard. He just doesn't get assists for you. Goran Dragic, good matchup against Kemba. I'm not going there. If I'm gonna play anybody other than these guys at the top, Alfred and Steph, the guy I'm going right down to, I'm going way down. I'm playing Terry Rozier. I just think he's Terry Rozier's a guy from Louisville. He's in that backcourt with Russ Smith, and they just a smart, heady little point guard. And the thing, he gets you 30 minutes a game, or close to that. He's blowout proof because they're going to play him. And especially if you want to play the other side of the ball, you want to play some Golden State guys, you need to stay close. And I like Rozier. I think 3,800, he's going to get you 25, and I think that's plenty. I mean, it's not going to win you a tournament on its own, but it's enough. If you're going down to the well with other guys down there, kind of like Corey Joseph, but last night Dylan Collison went off. Best game of his career. I think he got 50.9 fantasy points or something insane. At 7 steals. Alfred's the guy who will turn the ball over. So if you wanted to stack it up and play Alfred and Darren Collison, I wouldn't hate it. I think I'm just jumping right into Victor Oladipo at shooting guard and just taking that revenge narrative. Oladipo hates Orlando, and he's at home. My problem is here, and this has happened to me a lot this year when I play Oladipo, is the Pacers blow people out at home sometimes. They blew the Bulls out, and some other teams, heck, they blew Cleveland out. It's just a spot where it scares me a little bit, but the guy you almost have to play is Bradley Beal. John Wall's not playing. Bradley Beal's going to take 30 shots, and coming off the game last night where he gets you 66 fantasy points or something just absolutely ridiculous. It's going to be really, really hard to get away from that. He's going to be chalky. For those of you who aren't up on the narrative chalk, just kind of everyone's going to play it. But I think it's a hard one to fade. It's a hard one to get away from right there. I don't see a scenario where it didn't get you 5x, where it doesn't get you 40 fantasy points. That is kind of what you're looking for. If you're looking for an off the radar play, we'll scroll down here a little bit at shooting guard. See, Marcus Smart is out, which again just helps my Terry Rozier all day. Like, I'm locking that in. Absolutely. Kind of like Kent Bazemore. John Wall is out tonight. John Wall gets sloppy with the ball. But I think they're obviously going to have Tim Frazier in there, point guard, and Kent Bazemore's the guy who can get you steals and blocks, and with those being 3 points apiece, you got to like that. But a lot of people are going down to the Jamal Crawford train, and he's one of those guys, if he's not getting you 30, I'm not going to play him. So, to me, I just think it's I'm paying up. I'm playing Beal and I'm playing Oladipo. I think Beal's probably going to be 40% played in tournaments and probably more than that in cash. I mean, he's going to be 70%, 80% in cash. But looking at small forward tonight, a couple guys I really like who are kind of in that value tier. First of all is DeMarre Carroll, and he's kind of right here at the $5,600 range there. You can see right in there with Jaylen Brown, Jonathan Simmons just below, Josh Richardson. A couple of those guys I kind of like too. The thing with DeMarre Carroll, Brooklyn plays a lot of guys, and he's really the only one you can trust to keep his minutes. And DHJ's out, so I think a lot of those minutes are going to go to him. So if there was any question that he was going to get his 30 minutes, which, Brooklyn plays 12, 13 guys, I just think it's safe. I'm playing DeMarre Carroll in a tournament tonight, and I'm just not going to think twice. I'm going to click his name. This Kevin Durant thing with the game time decision. If I just now saw it, I hadn't seen that yet. That's really interesting to me. If Kevin Durant is out in that game against Boston, you can stack that game up because the Warriors have shown that they are just as good without Kevin Durant, but likelihood of it being a blowout, is not as great. So some other value guys just to think about. I like Kelly Oubre always. I like Torian Prince always. Bielika, I'm off it. Butler's back. Don't play him. Lance Stevenson, don't do it. Don't do it. Mario Hezonja, maybe in a tournament, he's just not getting the minutes. So I think, to me, I'm looking at, if I'm playing cash, I'm playing Harrison Barnes. I think that's a good matchup. He's coming off kind of pretty good game. And Denver's not great against that position. But Oubre, Prince, some good value guys there. And I'm playing Damari Carroll. One guy I didn't mention is Andre Iguodala. And if Durant's out, even more reason to go there. At power forward tonight, I'm playing Aaron Gordon. The reason I'm doing it, Pacers are bad against power forward, and Aaron Gordon hasn't been very good, but I believe in his talent. And I just think, I don't know, it's a game I'm going to watch, so I'm going to want to root for someone, and I just think, I don't know that the Elfrid Payton and Aaron Gordon correlation is super positive, but I feel like one of them is, if Orlando's going to stay in the game, one or both of these guys are going to have to go off. Because Vic is going to go nuts. I just kind of have that feeling. Vic's at home. If this game stays competitive and you don't play Victor Oladipo and one of these Magic guys, Gordon or Elfrid Payton, you're not going to win a tournament. I just think this is a spot where it's not the game. I think everybody's going to play this Boston Golden State game, this Washington Atlanta game. Indianapolis has slowed down a little bit. The Pacers aren't playing quite as fast. So I think you're getting them in a spot against Orlando, one of the fastest, worst teams in the NBA. Excuse me, we're not playing football here. I just think it's a sneaky stack spot. And if I stack it, I'm stacking it up top. I'm not going down in the dumpster. I'm not playing Thad Young. I'm not falling into that trap. I'm playing Aaron Gordon because he's a guy who can get you 40 real life points with some nice peripherals. Draymond Green, that salary is stupid. $7,700 for Draymond Green, it's silly. If you're playing that game, or if you just have the money, throw him in there. Sabonis is solid. I'm never paying $6,400 for Sabonis. Feel free to click his button. He's not gotten 40 all year. I'm not paying $6,400, and I'm darn sure not playing $6,300 for Thad Young. I love Thad Young. One of the best defensive. I think he leads the league in deflections. He's a great basketball player, but I'm not paying that. Taj Gibson is a guy I will play. Brooklyn gets up and down. They're terrible. Taj minutes are secure. And actually, Jimmy Butler coming back, he's the only guy on the Timberwolves who that actually helps. Gets easier shots, gets some lobs, gets in better rebounding position. I'm playing Taj Gibson tonight, and I'm playing Aaron Gordon. Other plays you could think about, Markieff Morris off a nut game, not going there. The other play I would consider would be Jason Tatum, as well as Marcus Morris. I think if Boston's going to stay in that game, they're going to need to do it on the wings because that's where you can kind of attack Golden State there. KD didn't play a ton of defense. At center, Dwight Howard's price is insane right now, but I made the mistake of listening to a podcast last night that got me off Dwight Howard at this exact price. I looked at it and I saw Dwight Howard at home against Atlanta, his former team, and I listened to something like this, guy, that somebody was making money to make, and they said, went on and on and on, and I just, for whatever reason, I didn't play Dwight Howard. But I tell you what, he's a stud. This is not a spot I'm going to play. I'm going to stay away from this with Whiteside. I'm not playing Whiteside or Howard, but 9.9 is a lot to pay for Dwight Howard. I think that's probably the most I've seen him in a long time. The problem with Karl Anthony Towns is I just can't do it. He's Jekyll and Hyde. He's up and down. He's the magic man. He'll disappear. He just, man, you play him in a smash spot, and he doesn't do anything. And Jokic, kind of the same thing. Tournament play, I can't stomach it. I just refuse to get 25 points out of $9,600. Honestly, if I'm playing a center other than my boy, who I'm going to get to right now here in a minute, I'm playing Biyombo or I'm playing Horford, but I'm probably playing Biyombo. But I'll tell you who I'm going to play. I'm going to play Jared Allen, no doubt. Played him 2 nights in a row. Feel free to click his name. You're going to feel dirty when you do it. He's going to get you there one way or another. Hey, thanks for listening. We may or may not talk more DFS. We might talk football. We might talk life. We might talk some Jesus. We might talk some family. But shout out to my wife, because she'll be one of at least 2 people who watch this, including myself,